I'd say story spoilers, but you know, I don't even know if this is a story spoiler myself. Pearl's Trustmaster reward is a materia that can only be equipped onto units from the Mana series. It will give them 500 flat attack, a MP regen, and a double killer against all species, making this very useful for those units. Her Super Trustmaster reward is a two-handed hammer of high attack. It also boasts a powerful stone killer, a tremendous equipment attack boost, and when equipped onto Pearl, gives her an extra 500 attack. On to her active abilities. She has 3 very powerful abilities. Hide lets her not be in the battle. Crouch lets her teabag. Oh no, just use herself. Camouflage, oh wait, that's a passive. Passives. But for Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equip, Pearl's normal attack changes to Synchro, status recovery, which cures status ailments, stomp, and charm from your team. She also knows camouflage. Let's look at her layer burst. Am I a burden? Requires 60 layer burst crystals so Pearl can ask one question and flail around. It comes with its own sound effects though. Time to change forms. Pearl's Brave Shift has a 4-turn duration and a 4-turn cooldown. On to her active abilities. Blazing Hammer deals light damage that chains of Absolute Mirror of Equity and inflicts a 120% light imperil. Blammo is the same thing but fire, also it's weaker. Synchro, full ST meter, can only be used once per battle, using her full layer burst gauge to fill another ally's layer burst gauge by the same amount, and then she immediately restores her own to recoup her losses. Black Pearl Iridescence can also only be used once per battle, boosting her attack by 300%, her dark damage by 50%, and fills her layer burst gauge, and then on the next turn, will boost her dark damage by 75%, and on the turn after that, it rises to a massive 100%. Passives. But for Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equip, Pearl gets stats, 2 Guts Plus, a layer burst damage boost, 500 extra attack, and a double killer against all species. She only has 2 other personal killers, but at least the layer burst damage boost could be past half of her lock passive. She actually has the old Unleash Power passive, the free and better version of Warring Spirit that wasn't locked behind EX Awakenings. She prefers to carry a single weapon, meaning half the cap to the chain layer boost. Her normal attack has been changed to eliminating the threat to the Jumi, which deals damage, fills the layer burst gauge, and permanently boosts the damage modifier for layer burst. At EX plus 2, she gets Preemptive Dark Veil, giving her team a whopping 200% Dark Elemental Resistance buff. At EX plus 3, she gets 500 attack. Let's look at her layer burst. Inflicts a 25% Hammer Imperil, boosts her layer burst damage by 200%, inflicts a 130% Dark Imperil, then deals dark damage that gets stronger if you use it again. Let's rank Brave abilities. They both just raise the damage modifiers, not their effects, and Blazing Hammer is stronger than Blammo. Both are off element though. Time to make a damage rotation. We'll start in her Brave Shift. On turn 1, use her Layer Burst. On turn 2, cast Black Pearl Iridescence, and double cast Blazing Hammer. On turn 3, use her normal attack. You'll never have to do this again. On turn 4, use her Layer Burst. On turn 5, she reverts back to her base form, so Teabag, she can't even do that, she has no multicast. So just slowly crouch down and up until you can go back to her Brave Shift. So, EX2. EX plus 2 is Preemptive Dark Veil, which provides a very powerful automatic dark resistance buff for your team, though this tool is clearly defensive rather than offensive. It's a powerful ability when needed, but nevertheless remains a bit niche, and given that EX plus 3 is just stats, her EX Awakenings don't really boost Pearl's damage output as much as the others. So how good is Pearl? She's pretty bad. Lady Black Pearl, on the other hand, is very strong, cheating her way to the top of dark damage because no one else has a 100% dark amplification buff. Even after that wears off, thanks to a combination of buff stats and modifiers, she's still pretty good. However, that's pretty much the extent of her pros, as after her grandest ability is used up, their drawbacks are pretty clear. Sure, her other grandest ability, now that it's been buffed to not just be in Trust, can be a potent tool, but it doesn't change the fact that this dark damage dealer is forced to choose between inferior light and fire damage that chains of Absolute Mirror of Equity. To make matters worse, Pearl's Layer Burst gauge fill rate is pretty bad, and the cost isn't low like Elizal's. Further complicating matters is the presence of Pearl the Burden, who can only really heal herself, or cure status ailments from her team, which isn't nothing, but isn't much to do when you're forced to spend 4 turns with this kit for every 4 turns for Brave Shift. Even if you wish to supplement Pearl with equipment with their own effects, you have a lot cut out for you. Pearl has no passive boost other than camouflage in this form, and this doesn't make up for it. I believe Pearl is a unit who is bad in both gameplay and game design. While it's obvious that most units get substantial upgrades upon receiving EX+1, Pearl is the only unit whose base kit is unacceptable. This is a Neo-Vision unit, and a limited one at that, and despite everything you're still forced to see it even after you get her upgrades. This doesn't change Lady Black Pearl's strength, but this is a definite flaw that drags the unit down as a whole. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you summon Pearl, and why?